This video is about clothing, accessories, and jewelry. If you're new here, I'm Vicki, and my husband Mark and I resell on eBay, Poshmark, and just a little bit on Mercari. As I said in the opening, this is a what sold video for clothing, accessories, and jewelry, including some of my handcrafted jewelry. And if you don't know, I have all types of pack and ship videos. Oh my gosh, I have so many. Brass, ceramic, glass, wood, all kinds of hard goods. And throughout the video, whenever I can, I include some eBay bolos, be on the lookout. And I am not responsible for what eBay shows me when I type in my key search words. Like I said in my last video, some of the things that eBay shows me for my search for sold comps is absolutely crazy. But I do sort the sold comps from highest to lowest and share a sampling of what I find. Also in this video, I share some of my candid thoughts about the things that sold. I have a lot of clothing that I listed a very, very long time ago, and it still sells, I won't necessarily pick up those brands again, but I do share with you throughout the video my thoughts on some of the items that sold and whether I would buy it again or not. First up is clothing. This sale is an Izod woman's size large blue denim jacket. Paid $1 at a church rummage sale and sold it for $19.95 plus ship. Let's jump over to eBay and check out sold comps for women's Izod denim jackets.
For some mysterious reason, my feet was directed to you, my dear. I had wished I could stay away, rid my thoughts of you some way, but so far so bad. What can I say? You're the best that I had.
We sell a variety of common and not so common brands. Maybe I should say I sell a variety because Mark doesn't pick out clothing. And so I guess I better take responsibility where responsibility is due. I sell common and not so common brands. And I've been running sales and accepting offers. We sold 3 women's tops. Craft & Barrow 2X tunic top sold for $12 plus ship. Let's check eBay sold comps for Craft & Barrow women's pullover top. Avante woman's 18W pullover top sold for $12 plus ship. The next brand is a Walmart brand. Who knew that Walmart clothing could sell on eBay? Do you sell Walmart brands on eBay? Let me know in a comment. And a Walmart top, Terra & Sky, size 2X, sold for $14.99 plus ship. And I always bag my clothes in a clear bag and then mail them in a poly mailer. So when I went to check sold comps on eBay for Terra & Sky, the Walmart brand Terra & Sky, it was just flooded with sold comps. So I decided to narrow it down to a woman's top, size 2X. Here are a few tips on how I store most of our clothing after it's been photographed and listed. I do have some things on hangers upstairs in my office closet, mostly button-down shirts, but the rest of it gets stored like this. Well, I'll show you here. We store our clothing in these tubs out in the garage, and I also store the clothing in a clear plastic bag. I'm looking for a denim skirt, a Gap denim skirt, size 8, there it is. If I can't see the tag when I fold it, I always insert this little piece of paper, which I do remove before I ship it. But that's how we store all the skirts and tops and slacks and shorts and swimsuits and things like that. Let's check eBay sold comps for women's Gap denim skirt. Do you sell denim skirts? Because we sell quite a few denim skirts. All brands, all sizes. I actually like finding men's shirts, button front shirts to sell. And I try to look for big and tall. The larger the size, the better. Same thing with women's clothing. I pretty much stay away from small, medium, large, and even extra large these days. Plus sizes for women and big and tall for men just sells much easier. In fact, a couple of months ago, I donated all of my women's clothing, small, medium, and large, to a local church clothing closet. Yeah, I got it out of here to free up space for hats and shoes and things like that. And sold a men's shirt. Here it is on top, LL Bean XXL. And I did disclose to the buyer that it has writing in the neckline. It has someone's name written. And the LL Bean shirt XXL that I paid $1 for at a church rummage sale sold for full asking price of $24.49 plus ship. Let's check those eBay sold comps again for LL Bean button front shirt. Men's LL Bean button front shirt.
Thought I had shown this town my taillights, and that a brand new world was in this stretch of road. Just keep the horizon in my sights. I had wished I could stay away, rid my thoughts of you some way, but so far so bad. What can I say? You're the best that I've had. How can I help myself?
I know that there are golf courses everywhere. And I have picked up some men's golf shirts, and they just don't sell very well for us. I guess perhaps because this next item is a size medium, but I've pretty much stopped picking up golf shirts. How about you? Do you sell golf shirts? I haven't had much luck on eBay with golf shirts, but I bet someone watching this has. Leave a comment and let everyone know. This men's Bolay golf shirt, size medium, so it's not very big. I'm not sure what I paid, probably a couple of dollars. And it sold on offer. Yes, I accepted an $8 offer, mainly because I've had it for a long time. And it's only a size medium. So $8 it is. Women's golf shirts sell slow too, even though this next item was new with tag and a size 2X and it pretty much had everything going for it. It was a very slow sell. Sold a woman's blouse. It's actually kind of a golf shirt, pullover. It's new with tag. Brand is kind of unusual, OVS, and it sold on offer for $12 plus ship. And as I mentioned, I've always done very well with button front shirts, whether it's men or women's. And the reason I keep most of those in my closet upstairs is because it keeps them from wrinkling, creasing too much from folding them. So when I do pull those shirts out to pack, I don't have any video of it right now, but I lay a piece of tissue paper over the front of the shirt, over the buttons, and then I fold it, put it in one of my clear plastic bags, and a poly mailer. And I get some nice compliments from that. One man commented that the shirt looked brand new and he was impressed for a pre-owned shirt of how nicely it was packaged. Sold a woman's blouse, Riders Slim, size XL. I've had it at different prices. I had it marked up, I had it on sale, just got a $10 offer and accepted it. Here are a few more clothing sales, and be sure to leave a comment and let everyone know if you sell clothing and if you have something you specialize in. Be sure to leave a comment. But here are a few more clothing sales. Next is accessories and shoes, and that would include for accessories things like ties and hats. Sold a tie. Haven't sold a tie for a while, and this is how I pre-packaged it. I just folded it nicely, wrapped it around with some tissue paper. Not sure what I paid for it, but typically I don't pay more than $1 for a tie. It's Tropicalia, Tropicalia by Tango, silk tie, flamingos. Sold on offer for $10 plus ship. Let's jump over to eBay and check out men's Tango ties.
The hard one with the hard words. I had hoped I could stay away, rid my thoughts of you some way, but so far it's so bad. What can I say? You're the best that I had. Now I can't help myself.
And speaking of ties, do you sell ties? I have had probably a dozen ties, men's ties listed for a very long time. And I've sold a few, but they sell so slow for me. So pretty much I don't pick them up anymore. But again, if you sell ties, leave a comment. We do like selling hats and caps, men's hats and caps. We live about a half hour from Bristol Motor Speedway, so we typically find a lot of those in our area and cheap, like $1 a hat. So we pick those up whenever we can. And hats are so easy to store and so easy to pack. And as I said, we typically don't pay more than $1. Sold a hat, a Bristol Fire Rescue Motor Speedway hat. It's in like new condition. Paid $1 for it at a church rummage sale and sold it for $25 plus ship. That's not too bad. $1 to $25. It was on sale, and then I sent an offer on top of the sale. I'm shipping it in a small box, an 8x6x4. Fits pretty good, and I'm adding a small piece of cardboard to make sure when they cut into it, if they cut into it, it doesn't hurt the hat. I said that Bristol Motor Speedway sells well for us, and I'm sure you probably have something in your area where you live where something sells really well. And if you'd like to share that, leave a comment. So because Bristol Motor Speedway is exclusive to us in northeastern Tennessee, in our area, I decided when I jumped over to eBay to look at sold comps, I would just research Fire Rescue. Yes, Fire Rescue cap or hat, and see what they have for sold comps. Shoes. Oh yeah, shoes. I have quite a few shoes that I need to list. Yeah. I don't even know what to say here. I have 3 rows over here that I need to go through and decide if it's still worth listing them. Because, yeah, a while back I picked up a lot of shoes, but I'm not good at photographing them, and it's not something that Mark really enjoys photographing either. Plus, shoes take a lot of details when you're listing them. I think, it helps if you have them in the box, and most of mine are in a box, and that gives me some information to go on. But yeah, we've sold some, and I'm going to show you next some shoe sales. Pretty much every woman's top that has buttons is stored upstairs, although I do have some men's button shirts stored down here. And I have shoes stored in a tote. Some of them are in padded envelopes, some are in just poly mailers. I might take them out of here for shipping, but I sold a pair of shoes. Unisa, size 8.5. The shoes are going to ship in an eBay box that's 12 by 6 by 6. Size 8.5 Unisa slip-on black leather upper mule shoes. I do try to buy leather shoes when I buy them. Paid $2 at a garage sale and sold them for $14.99 plus ship. Let's check eBay sold comps for women's Unisa or Unisa, I'm not sure how to say it, shoes. And another pair of women's shoes sold, Etienne Agner, and sold them for $14.99 plus ship. Sold a pair of shoes. The brand is Etienne Agner, if I'm saying it correctly, size 7, and slingback. They sold an offer for $20 plus ship. Shipping looks a little bit high, but it's going to California. And I'm just going to ship them in this eBay box. It's 12 by 6 by 6. One of my favorite size boxes, and I hope they have them back in stock because they didn't have them last time I checked. Let's check eBay sold comps for women's Etienne Agner shoes. All right, true confessions here. I really like to buy jewelry. I know some of you know that about me. Oh goodness, vintage to modern to fashion jewelry. I am so drawn to jewelry. So I'm always picking it up. And sometimes I buy the whole lot at a sale. Yeah, sometimes I do that. I'm confessing here. It's my weakness. I mean, it's pretty. Okay, jewelry is pretty. Most of it anyway. It's usually very inexpensive. And it really doesn't take up much room to store it. Oh gosh, am I ever going to stop going out to sales and buying things so that I can finish listing shoes and jewelry and maybe Christmas ornaments? Will I ever stop that? Probably not. This sale is from doing end and sell similar for this on this vintage mother pin. I've had it listed for a long time, since 2020. I'm sure I've done end and sell similar before, but finally sold, and it sold for full asking price in $19.95 plus shipping. Easy pack. I'll pack it with cardboard, wrap it in a small bubble wrap, and ship it in a padded envelope. So when I went to eBay to check sold comps for mother pins, mother brooches or pins, well, they threw in a bunch of sold comps for mother of pearl. I guess it makes sense. So there's going to be a mix here of some mother pins, vintage mother pins, and mother of pearl.
It's been a long, hard season. I'm feeling weary to my bones. I guess that's my reason. I've packed my bags and now I'm gone. Somewhere between the sun and the deep blue sea. That's where you find me.
Here are a couple of tips on how I store jewelry so that I can find it easy when it sells. You know how when you're making a listing below the title, it has custom label SKU? That's where I'll put in the information on where I've stored something. So I'm going to show you a couple of tips here on how I store jewelry. It's pretty simple, but it works. Sold a Christmas pin, and it's numbered 090410. 0904 of 23 is the year I listed it, and I'm looking for number 10, and I can see it right on top here. 090410. Looks like it's a handmade, hand-assembled Christmas pin. Then I'll take the number off of my packaging, which means nothing to her, and put it on our packing slip, which we retain for our own uses. And we recycle the paper by shredding it the next year after we do our taxes. And it sold for full asking price of $14.95. And yes, I do have free ship on jewelry right now, but $14.95. And I have probably 10 cents into it. There's still more to this video, but if you're enjoying it, if you've learned something, I sure do appreciate a thumbs up and comment and all that good stuff. And if you haven't done so, subscribe. But let's keep going here. Let's jump over to eBay and look up sold comps for Gold Tone Metal Angel Christmas pin. I'm curious, do you sell seasonal jewelry more than just Christmas? Do you sell Halloween? Do you sell, I've seen some Thanksgiving jewelry. Do you sell Easter jewelry, 4th of July jewelry? Do you sell jewelry? And if so, what season seems to sell best for you? Now, this next item is just a Halloween pin, and it's the only Halloween pin sale that I have. I have some other Halloween jewelry, but I just bought it recently. But do you sell seasonal jewelry, and do you have a season that sells better than other seasons? Leave a comment. This little Halloween pin sold. I probably have 25 cents into it. Not sure where I bought it, but it sold on offer for $12 plus ship. Now, this search on eBay for sold comps was really fun. I was surprised at all the neat things I found for Halloween jewelry. So let's take a look. And I shared a few extra on this particular search than I did other searches, because some of this stuff is going for a lot of money. A whole lot of money. And by the way, if I don't see you before Halloween, happy Halloween, for those of you who celebrate. For us, well, we really don't celebrate. Other than maybe buying some Halloween candy. Just a little bit. That's kind of like I only have a few pieces of jewelry. Yeah, right. I am sure that most of you will know exactly what I'm talking about when I say vintage daisy pin. You know, those enamel metal pins, those, I shouldn't say little, those big flower pins. I have a few of those that I wear once in a while. And this next item is a sale for just a silver one. It's rather plain, but sold a fairly large vintage metal enamel pin. I say enamel because it has a silver finish on it. Not sure what I paid for it, probably 50 cents. And it sold on offer for $10 plus ship. And as I often do, I'll back it with cardboard, wrap it in bubble wrap, and then mail it in a padded envelope. I think those pins are so neat. I really do.
I'm not here for you to blow your one and only chance. I'm not here to waste my time on yet another bad romance. Now I got hopes for us tonight, for this here thing to turn out right. So from the start, let's get this one thing clear. You should know you're looking at a self-made woman. You should know I got nothing for free in this life. None of us can know what's coming.
I wish they'd come back in style. I wish that large pins, brooches would come back in style because I've always loved pins. I used to wear them a lot more than I do now because I rarely see anybody else wearing them. But then again, what does that matter, right? If you like something, don't make an excuse, just wear it. Do you wear pins or large pins known as brooches? Do you? This next item is a gift box piece of jewelry. So tell me, if jewelry is in a gift box, does that make it appear more expensive, or does it make it appear like a commodity, just cheap and sit? What do you think? Either way, next up is a boxed piece of jewelry. This sale was in our avante-avenue store, eBay store, Edgar Barabee, limited edition. Has some paperwork with it. Hark the Herald Angels Sing. And it says Merry Christmas. Ironically, I just did an end and sell similar in that store a couple days ago, and this one sold, so I love that. Not sure what I paid for it, but it sold for $23.99 plus ship. I was debating on putting the paperwork in the bottom, but then I'm afraid they won't see it. I have some foam, and I'm just going to fold it a few times and put it on top. And then the paperwork so they see it right away. I think that'll be good. I decided to put it in a small bag. And then I'll mail it in a small box with some bubble wrap. It's an eBay box, 6 by almost 5 by 5. Some bubble wrap, 2 air pillows on top, and we're good to go. Let's jump over to eBay and look at Edgar Barabee. But I found some other things for Edgar Barabee too, and I decided to go ahead and show them to you because I had no idea. I had never heard of Edgar Barabee before I bought this pin, this boxed pin. I think I'll be on the lookout now for Edgar Barabee after checking these eBay sold comps. You see, I learn things too when I do these videos, and this is one of them.
For a self-made woman like me, could you be that someone I could trust? Tell me, do I didn't take my defense down like I know I must? Gotta give it a chance. Gotta get out of that thought
I think I gave it away. I think I gave it away. I had listed it quite some time ago, a long time ago, and I hadn't rechecked sold comps. And yeah, I think I gave that Edgar Barabee pen away. I do. I had no idea that some of it could sell for so much. I do now. And so do you. You know, we live and we learn. Sarah Coventry necklace. It was a church rummage sale find. Paid $1.50 for it, and it sold on offer for $10 plus ship. Packing the necklace is pretty simple. I back it with some cardboard. I will wrap it up in some small bubble wrap. Place it in an eBay padded envelope with one air pillow. Make that 2 air pillows. I put one at the bottom, then the necklace, and one at the top. Let's take a look on eBay for Sarah Coventry necklace.
Everyone wants to be swept off their feet, overwhelmed and swooned. It's romanticized, idealized. Nothing has been more crooned, but your playful heart has got me in trouble now.
Could have put this next item under ties, but I decided to put it under jewelry because it's a bolo tie. So it's quite fancy compared to a regular men's tie. And I've sold several now, and I have some tips for you on how I packaged it to make sure that it arrived in good condition. Because bolo ties are quite different from shipping a fabric tie or a silk tie. Yeah, bolo ties are, you know, different. Do you sell bolo ties? Whether you do or you don't, I'm going to share some tips on how I packed it. And I've done this many times and it works great. With some turquoise chips, paid $2.50 at a garage sale. It was already on sale, but I sent an offer for $19 and it sold. It's back with cardboard. I also printed out the condition notes that it has heavy wear. The braided cord, black braided cord, has heavy wear. I decided to add a little more bubble wrap, a piece of small bubble wrap folded a few times in the center. And then I'm mailing it in this padded envelope. Time to jump over to eBay and check out Western bolo ties. And I decided to add the word turquoise.
Playful heart has got me in trouble now, but it's fine. I wanna be in. I knew from the start I would get in over my head. Your playful heart was not to be played with. No.
Do you sell lots of jewelry? When I buy a lot of jewelry from a sale, I go through it and I pick out the best pieces that can be resold as is, individually. And then I'll take the rest of it and lot it up because there's a lot of costume fashion jewelry that, just isn't worth much. I upcycle what I can, but a lot of it just gets bagged together. That's the case with this next item. It's just a bag of bangle bracelets, and I figured someone could probably craft with them, maybe, wrap something around the bangle and turn it into something else. It's just not my thing. I listed it as a lot. This sells for a lot, yes, a lot of assorted bracelets, all different shapes and sizes. Lot number 4232. Let's make sure that matches up, and it does. And it sold on sale for $16.49. The bracelets are getting mailed in an 8x6x4 box with some bubble wrap. I have a buyer who bought 3 things from us, and I'm looking for a pair of earrings, vintage clip earrings that I listed on custom label 83023. They sold for $15. I just want to say it's not easy to sell jewelry that has no brand on it, but it's not impossible because they did sell clip earrings, unbranded, generic, sold for $15. I clipped the earrings to some foam, just inexpensive craft foam that I got at the dollar store, I think. Maybe I got it at a garage sale. I'm going to cut a length of this and then wrap it around. I'll show you here. I cut the piece. I'll just roll this and then tape it, and it will help protect the earrings. Here's another jewelry sale. And next up is my jewelry. Yes, my handcrafted jewelry. For those of you who are new to our channel, or maybe you haven't picked up on it, Mark and I handcrafted jewelry and traveled and sold it for well over a decade, honestly. And we did National Street Rod shows and Good Guy shows. We set up in the women's world. We had 20, or maybe it was 24 feet of display. We would get 2 spaces, 2 10x10s, and the way we laid out our tables, we had a lot of jewelry on display, all handcrafted. And Mark specialized in chainmail jewelry, and I specialized in beadwork, crystals, stones, a variety of beads. I made this necklace that I have on here, pulled that out today, and the earrings. And we did quite well. We called ourselves Avante Jewelry, and we still call it Avante Jewelry. But it came to a point where the traveling was getting old, and so we stopped doing that. And yet we still have quite a bit of inventory we need to sell at some point. On the flip side, last fall, about a year ago, I decided to finally start a YouTube channel called Avante Jewelry. And my first few videos, I showed some of the earrings and things that I made that I used to make when we traveled. And then I got into upcycling vintage to fashion jewelry. And I was surprised how well that went over. I was monetized on that channel in 6 months. Yeah, it took me 2.5 years here on Avante-Avenue to get monetized. That's 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watched hours. I was monetized within 6 months. I couldn't believe that. So anyway, I digress. So next I'm going to show you some of my handcrafted jewelry that is sold. Mark hasn't put any of his jewelry up yet on the channel. He hasn't shown anything. He does have arthritis in his hands, and I don't know if he's going to be able to make any chainmail jewelry and demonstrate that. But while I can, I'm going to keep going with it. And I put out videos. I try once a week, but sometimes there's a little more time in between than a week. Let me move on here and show you some of my handcrafted jewelry that has sold. Sold a necklace that I made. It's featured on our YouTube channel, Avante Jewelry. Here it is. Let me show it to you. On our YouTube channel, Avante Jewelry, I've been upcycling vintage to modern jewelry. And this is a 3-strand pendant necklace with an extra pendant that's interchangeable. And that's interchangeable because this outer chain, I made it with a lobster clasp. And you can see here the 3 different types of chains. The silver-plated one is more modern, but it has a vintage flower. And then you can tell that this piece here is vintage. And then I used a more contemporary chain and then made this little pendant assemblage here with the little charms and then this stone pendant. So that's one of the things I'm doing over on Avante Jewelry if you'd like to check out that YouTube channel. And how much did it sell for? Let's see here. Avante Jewelry multi-strand necklace, layered necklace with 2 pendants. I made the video in April of 24. And it sold for full asking price at $29.95 plus tax. One thing I don't know for sure is if when my handcrafted jewelry sells, I don't know if it's selling to a viewer of our YouTube channel, Avante Jewelry, or just someone that found it on eBay. I rarely know. Sometimes someone will leave me a comment, but it feels really good when something that I handmade sells, especially when I'm just working with pre-owned jewelry and taking it apart and seeing what I can come up with. We sold a necklace and a pair of earrings that I made, and you can find the video for this on our channel. I made them from a couple of recycled necklaces, put the components together, and I'll insert a photo of it. Let's take a look at this fancy feather necklace and earrings. You know, I don't always make things that are my style. In fact, a lot of the jewelry that I make isn't my style, but it's someone's style. And the set sold for $24.95 plus ship. I like to pack my jewelry with a little bit of cardboard to stabilize it, make sure it doesn't get bent, some small bubble wrap, and then I'll mail it in a padded envelope with one air pillow. I sold a couple pieces of my handmade jewelry today. I showed making the jewelry on our channel, Avante Jewelry. And you can see here how I numbered my bags. I just put the date that I made the video, you know, the date that I listed the items, and then bag all the pieces of jewelry together. So that's how I organize it. This one was made on 3/24/24. I started out with a necklace that I bought at the ReSeller for $1.50, and I took it apart and made a bracelet and a pair of earrings, and then I have two more listings, which is a pendant and earrings listed on eBay. Sold it for $24.95. I have videos for all the jewelry that I'm showing you here. The bracelet and earrings that I made gets backed with cardboard so that it can't bend, wrapped in small bubble wrap. In the padded envelope, I placed the air pillow, the jewelry, and an air pillow. I sold a pair of earrings and I wrapped them before I realized I hadn't videoed it. I made the earrings, so I'll insert a photo here, some purple earrings, and they sold for full asking price of $14.95. I sold a bracelet that I handmade. Do you see the purple colors, the AB finish? And these are silver plated beads. On this bracelet, I have to take that back. I don't have a video out there for making this. Sorry about that. It's size 7.5, and it sold for $20 plus ship. I did handcraft it. To mail it, I backed the bracelet with some cardboard to support it so it doesn't get bent. Wrap it in some small bubble wrap and put it in a padded envelope with an air pillow. Here's another example of something that I made that I would never wear. I don't wear really long earrings, mainly because one time I caught an earring when I was combing my hair, and that didn't feel too good. So I don't wear long earrings. But as I said a little bit ago, some people do. It's always exciting to sell something that I've made back in January of 2024. Let me take them out of the bag for you. That's what they look like, and I have a video up on our channel. I think I made 5 pairs of earrings that day in this video. These earrings are about 2.5 inches long. They were originally $14.95. I sent an offer of $13. I'm not sure if these sold to a subscriber or not, but if they did, thank you, and we appreciate it. I have the earrings in a small plastic bag, backing it with cardboard, wrapping in small bubble wrap, putting it in a padded envelope with one air pillow. When Mark and I were traveling and selling our handcrafted jewelry, it was all brand new components. It's just these recent items that I got into in the last year, the upcycling of vintage to fashion jewelry, where the majority of the materials that I'm working with, the beads and the findings, are pre-owned. I do always add new ear wires, and I add new clasps and some beads and components, but for the most part, the majority of the piece is pre-owned. And when I think back about the first time that I ever, I guess you could say, sort of upcycled a necklace, I had a lady contact me to see if I could restring a necklace that was her mother's. And it was too short for her. And I took it apart and I added some new crystals and new beads and restrung it. I have a photo, but it's filed away somewhere, who knows where. And it was so beautiful. And she was so happy. And I was even able to make her a pair of matching earrings. And that was my first time taking pre-owned jewelry and changing it up, upcycling it. Yeah, it's a very memorable experience to do that for someone. I guess it was always in the back of my mind that someday I would like to do that again. Eventually, I'll probably show more of just my regular jewelry that I make, and probably even present more of our handcrafted jewelry that is stored here that we'd like to sell. So if you want to see what jewelry we have in our eBay store, Avante-Avenue, just look for the category for Avante Jewelry. And if this interests you, and only if it interests you, please don't subscribe if you're not interested. It just hurts us in the algorithm. But if you sincerely have an interest in Avante Jewelry, Perhaps ring that bell so you get notifications and check out the videos that I have up there. Yeah, it never helps to subscribe to a channel if you no longer watch, if you don't watch, because YouTube thinks, well, it can hurt us, YouTubers. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed it enough to give us a thumbs up. And thanks for watching. I'm Vicki with Avante Avenue, and Mark and I will see you soon.